Welcome back to Sports Best, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into some Mo NFL action. Week 7, a week that won't be forgotten by the NFL history books. Or maybe they will. I mean, there wasn't, I don't know if I could say great games, unless I mean, Miko Hardman did have a really good game. Maybe you could say great. Three rushing touchdowns for a wide receiver, ladies and gentlemen. That is freaking crazy. But let's get right into all of it. A little bit of fantasy in this NFL recap show of a day ish, whatever ish. But yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so we had the primetime game, the primo game. It was Miami and the Steelers of Pittsburgh. I could say it was epicness, but it wasn't epicness because I mean I can't. It wasn't so epic that I literally forgot who. I know who had a lot of picks. It was Kenny Pickens. I know. Well, I'm not 100 like who got the specifically as in the touchdowns. It says Tua Tagovailoa, but like I told you, this game wasn't blockbuster. It was lackluster. Not so great. I mean, Kenny Shickets had a chance. Oh yeah, now I remember. Now that I'm looking at it right now, it was Raheem Mustard. Um, Tyreek had a pretty decent game, 772. Jalen had one really nice catch in the beginning of the game, but then he was here and there as well. But 4 for 88, pretty good if I don't say so myself. But like I said, not too much scoring in this game. Sure, one of them, yes, one of them was a pick six. I thought it was because nobody else in the offensive side scored. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the prime time game. A lot of defenders for Pittsburgh came back, so I thought, well, that's probably one of the main reasons why I was a little bit competitive. But then again, both Kenny and Tua Tagovailoa were come back from their concussions. Tua actually from he's been missing for the past 3 weeks, and we all know, with the I don't know, some people saying that he might, or I guess doctors telling him, or some people telling him that he shouldn't play football anymore, but came back and he was looking pretty nice. Offense looks like it's running much better with Tua Tagovailoa. Like I said, safeties and some of the DBs for um, Pittsburgh came back. So that made a little bit of difference and made a little bit more tougher for them Dolphins to get the dub, and they eventually did get that dub. We started off the week, or the football week, as in Thursday night football with Saints versus Jim Cardinals, both somewhat in a slump. Some people had New Orleans as one of the contenders for the Super Bowl, but right off the bat, a whole bunch of injuries, not knowing whether Kamara was going to get suspended or not, and he hasn't been suspended. I heard some strange situations happening now, but yeah, and Jameis Winston hurting everywhere. Everywhere hurts, as he said, quoting him right now. Um, Alvin Kamara's been looking nice for fantasy, but in the real deal, I mean, he's still looking nice, but you need a bit more maybe from not looking like the old Kamara, obviously, because Drew Brees, he isn't the Drew Brees check down guy. I don't know if Andy Dalton's not fond of that, but maybe he should start looking towards that way a bit more because 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I mean, the 4 touchdowns is nice, but the 4 interceptions, two of them under a minute, and two pick sixes. For God's sakes, the man needs the Lord. Uh, the red arrow, more like the dull arrow. Yeah, that was a terrible joke, but I've also used it before. Still doesn't come out great, but whatever, right? Whatever. No Michael Thomas. Um, I think there's another wide receiver they're missing. Landry. Jarvis Landry. I think Landry was also missing in this game, but they still had Chris Olave, rookie, probably rookie of the year. I don't know who else is going to compete with that rookie. Maybe Brees Hall probably could have, but Brees Hall went down. And she has him in fantasy, but looking like he might have tore the ACL. Yeah, not good. But thank God for me, which is it's messed up. But I know fantasy's a little messed up all the time, to be honest. But I have other running backs. I have 5 running backs, so I'm in a good place. But hopefully recovers. Most likely going to be one of those top running backs to be picked up next year. So shits for the New York Jets. I mean, they still have Michael, so they'll be all right. Cardinals. Kyler Murray looked a little bit better than the majority of the games he's been playing, but then again, anybody will be better when DeAndre Hopkins comes back and does what he does best. And then you add Robbie Anderson after that kerfuffle with the head coach of Panthers or interim head coach with the Panthers. But yeah, the 2 pick sixes and all that baloney just made it much easier for them Cardinals to get the dub. They look like they're on the up, 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 up. Not too sure about their schedule, but with DeAndre Hopkins, anything is possible. As Richard Sherman went. Shit. Browns, Baltimore. I did a lot where I said both teams need the dub, and the both teams did. I believe that Browns needed it more, just so they're just buying time now for Deshaun Watson to come back. And now that they're 2-5, hard for me to see them in situation making the playoffs. I mean, these records aren't great anyways. The Bengals, they're technically 3 games away from, 2 games away from both teams, as in Baltimore Ravens and Bengals. I don't know though. I mean, the line is looking better for the Bengals. The Ravens, no run. J.K. Dobbins is out. They're just like running through running backs at the moment, and Bateman is here and then he's gone, here and gone. So we will see what happens. I mean, they still got Lamar. Lamar is literally sometimes all they need. I mean, they also got Mark Andrews, but Mark Andrews didn't do as much today, but still. So yeah, they didn't need to, well, they obviously want to win the freaking game for Josh's sakes. But Jacoby Brissett, a better game today, but still 22 for 27. I honestly thought it was worse than that, but need a little bit more from Jacoby Brissett, as in like clutch moments. Like once it comes down to the clutch, Jacoby's kind of been off, to be honest. I mean, anybody will tell you that's watched these past couple of weeks. There's some of those moments where they need him most. He throws an interception, but then again, it's not all on him. It is a team sport, but maybe they should be in a better place to begin with, right? Right. Not sure who they got next week, but they got Bengals. So to be honest, if they would have won today and next week, be perfect situation when Deshaun Watson comes back from all the massages, and then he'd, probably get the team to start winning because they're a really good team. Just need a better quarterback. Buccaneers lose to the Panthers, who don't literally have anybody. Christian McCaffrey out the door. I was about to say Kyler Murray out the door. Robbie Anderson out the door. Other teams are acquiring about other players, but they don't want those other players out the door. They think they're pieces for future or the rebuilding process. So I guess they're gonna keep them guys, and that's I don't know, man. Maybe they should get rid of more players. I mean, do you really need a bunch of those players that were in a losing situation? Maybe 1 or 2 guys, but you need as much as picks as you can possibly freaking get. For God's sakes, you got You got Sham Shithead Darnold and Baker Commercial Mayfield. But yeah, the Panthers somehow with PJ. I think it's PJ Walker, quarterback that's been everywhere in the league to some freaking way found the way to win. Bengals beat the Falcons. Falcons somewhat put up a game somewhat throughout the whole time, and then it was all over. T. Higgs chasing the boys were just too much. Cowboys, Lions, slow stop for Jacques Prescott, and the Lions unforgiven offense didn't do shit for the past, what is it, 2 weeks? I think they didn't do shit. Well, you face the top defenses and you ain't gonna do shit and you ain't gonna be shit. Giants, Jaguars, Giants just found a way to win no matter what. Now they got more weapons back and it's looking bad. They got a tight end that's somewhat learning and getting old, or becoming an actual legit player. And then you got Wandell, you got Saquon who just does his best, and this dude's willing to put his body on the front line. Danny Dams himself, and coaching all around, just everything good, looking good for him. And that defense ain't half bad. I mean, they whooped on Rodgers, they whooped on Lamar. Well, they made comebacks on a couple of those teams. They didn't really whoop on them, but I mean, a dub's a dub, a win's a win. Packers, yes, the Fudge Packers. Are packing the fudge, as in packing the L's, not the dubs. They're 3-4. Keep taking them L's. I mean, that's what happens when your quarterback smokes Prohaska or ships Prohaska or whatever the frick he does with that stuff. Um, and he's getting them goofy looking haircuts. I mean, what do you expect? You're going to get whooped on by Tyler Hennessy, whooping on that boy Aaron Rodgers and his defense and everybody out there. Hide your wives, hide your kids, because Tyler Hennessy comes from ass whoopings. Um, yeah. And Terry McLaurin looking pretty nice. Probably one of his best games. What were you doing, Carson Wentz? Mr. Carson Wentz, where were you on the date of today? Which was October 20. Gotta look at my phone. October 23rd. What a guy, as in Tyler Heineke, getting them deals for his team. I tell you what. What else do we have? Titans. The mighty Titans. The mighty Titans against them Colts of Indianapolis. Indianapolis just not looking so. I mean, I really want to know how many interceptions can Matt Ryan throw this year? Can he break that 30 for 30? And with less touchdowns, I believe he can do it. Just kidding. No, but really, he probably can if he tried. I mean, try as in trying really hard to win, but getting interceptions. That's what I was trying to say. But whatever. Not enough. I mean, hey, one good thing, I got Campbell. I think it's Paris Campbell, wide receiver on my team. So, hey, look at me, everybody. I'm picking up some decent waiver wire ads. Let's look a little fantasy. Joe Burrow with 39.24. Oh my God. He was absolutely awesome, I guess. I could say other words, but awesome seems like the easiest one to say, so I'm going to say that one. Josh Jacobs has been, I mean, the greatest thing since Tom Brady, since he won that Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. I wasn't going to say the Stash Bread quote or whatever the frick. Kenneth Walker looking awesome himself. This dude breaks tackles like kids break Legos. Legos can't be broken, so there you go. Jamal Chase. The chase continues. He's had 2 back-to-back 30-point games, I believe. So nice for him. Not nice for me because I traded him away. But I got Mike Williams, Aaron Jones, a couple other players in return. And look at that. Aaron Jones with 28 points in fantasy. Let's step away a little bit more from the fantasy and say a couple more words, and we're going to go ahead and call it because this isn't ESP fucking N. This is sports first. Number one in sports, you coward. Sorry for coming at you, but Texans versus Raiders. Raiders, it's not looking like what we all expected them to look like, but the majority of these teams aren't looking. I mean, New York, where y'all at? New York has been running it up on everybody. The Jets, the Giants, the Bills. For God's sakes, it's New York's football world, and we the others. We live in it. You Texan people, you Wisconsiners, you Washingtonians, you Detroit. I mean, Detroit has been Loserville for like 20 years or something. So yeah, they don't even count. So yeah, tomorrow we got Patriots Bills. Not a blockbuster, but I like seeing. I'd rather see if it's a bad game. I'd rather see a quarterback who can scramble, and I wouldn't mind seeing another game of Zappa, the young Zappa, going out there and showing that maybe he's better than Mac Jones. Who the hell knows if he's better than Mac Jones? I mean, he's proven that he's good, but I don't know if he's better. I don't know if he's better than Mac Jones. But today, this is. I know I didn't get to talk too much about the other games, but oh yeah, the Pat Mahomes game, that was awesomeness. Juju Smith Shaw was looking awesome. Herbert looking like trash lately. I don't know if it's the ribs messing with him right now, but I'm saying that because I picked him up and I drafted him in fantasy, and not happy with you, Justin. Pick that shit up. But then again, it's that punk Austin Eckler who takes his touchdowns away. Not happy with that, Austin Eckler. Cut that shit out. Let him throw a freaking touchdown here and there. Let me live, man. Even though, actually, one of my records is pretty good and one of them isn't so great. But still, that's fantasy. It's fantasy, but it's reality that I'm not doing great, but I'm doing better than a lot of my um, foes. So frick the ops, man. Even though in one league I'm not doing better than my foes, but I feel like I have a better squad. But who doesn't feel like that, right? Yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Sabotage.